Hi, my name is Adrina Bagumian. Today is August 16th, 2024, and I'll be presenting about the determination of gender and the role of genes versus hormones. Let's start with talking about the role of genes in determining gender. So, gender is determined by both genes and hormones, with each nucleated cell in the body containing 46 chromosomes, which is called the diploid number because chromosomes are paired into 22 matched or homologous pairs of autosomes and one pair of sex chromosomes. These 22 pairs of autosomal chromosomes determine characteristics like our hair color and blood type. The two sex chromosomes, X or Y, have genes that develop the internal and external sex organs. The X chromosome is bigger than the Y chromosome and has many genes that the Y chromosome does not have. The sex chromosomes determine an individual's genetic sex or gender, and genetic females are characterized by the XX pairing and inherit one X chromosome from each parent, while genetic males are characterized by the XY pairing of chromosomes and inherit a Y chromosome from the father and an X chromosome from the mother. This is why the Y chromosome is the determinant for the development of male reproductive organs. Eggs and sperm are haploid cells with 23 chromosomes, with each one from each of the 22 homologous pairs and one sex chromosome. The joining of the egg and sperm results in a zygote, which contains a unique set of 46 chromosomes, with one chromosome of each homologous pair from the mother and one from the father. On the left here, I've included an image from the Silverthorne textbook that shows these 23 pairs of chromosomes that include the 22 pairs of autosomal or homologous pairs and the one pair of sex chromosomes. This slide is a continuation of the role of genes in determining gender. So during fertilization, if there is an abnormal distribution of sex chromosomes, then the presence or absence of a Y chromosome will determine if the development of a male or female proceeds. Even if a zygote has multiple X chromosomes, a Y chromosome means that the embryo will become male. But if a zygote only inherits one chromosome, which would be the pairing YO, it will die without the larger X chromosome that contains the essential genes that are absent in that Y chromosome. But if a zygote only inherits one X chromosome, which would be the pairing of XO, this is called Turner syndrome, and it will develop into a female, but two X chromosomes are still required for the normal function of female reproduction. So in early embryos, sex or gender is difficult to determine because reproductive structures look the same until about week 7 of development. Before this differentiation, the embryonic tissue is bipotential because a male or female cannot be identified. Sex determination depends on the presence or absence of the Y chromosome or the SRY gene. This SRY gene is located on the Y chromosome and produces SRY protein, or a testes determining factor. If a functional SRY gene is present, the bipotential gonads will develop into testes. If the SRY gene is absent, with the aid of multiple female-specific genes, the gonads will develop into ovaries instead. The SRY gene is located on the Y chromosome and, again, produces the testes determining factor. So on the right here, I included a small image of the determination of sex by the X and Y chromosomes from the Silverthorne textbook. So as you can see, the female parent has XX chromosomes and the male parent has XY chromosomes. And if the offspring had XX, it would be a female offspring. One with XY would be a male offspring. Now let's talk about the role of hormones in the determination of gender. Gametogenesis, or the timing of gamete production, is different in males and females. Gametogenesis in both sexes is under control by brain hormones and endocrine cells in the gonads. Some of these hormones are identical in males and females, and some are different. Both males and females produce all three groups of hormones, but males mainly produce androgens, while females mainly produce estrogens and progesterone. Gametogenesis is initiated and maintained by follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH, and steroid sex hormones. Steroid sex hormones are produced by endocrine cells from the signaling of the luteinizing hormone, or LH. This slide is a continuation of the role of hormones in determining gender. So primary sex characteristics are the internal sexual organs and the external genitalia that distinguish the sexes. Androgens control the development of male primary sex characteristics during embryonic development. Estrogens control the development of female primary sex characteristics during embryonic development once again. So secondary sex characteristics would include other traits that distinguish the sexes. Androgens are responsible for male traits like body hair growth, muscular development, lowered voice, and libido, which is sex drive. Estrogens, on the other hand, are responsible for female traits like breast development and more fat distribution in the hips and upper thighs. Other female secondary sex characteristics are determined by androgens produced in the adrenal cortex. So androgens affect both males and females. These include pubic and axillary or armpit hair growth and libido, which once again is sex drive. For my sources, I used the Silverthorne textbook, which here is cited in the AMA format. Thank you.